Hey everyone, welcome to Grab Your Keys with Sue Meitner. I'm super excited today to have Tricia, one of my very closest friends in the mortgage industry. She is an SVP at Lenders One, and I could not be happier for you to be my first real live guest on this episode because you're such a great person, a great leader in the mortgage industry, and an amazing, amazing person. So, Tricia, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, Sue, that was so nice for you to say all of that. And I just love our friendship. And I just so thankful that I'm here with you and get to see you and see your face, see your beautiful face and hear your voice. It's been too long since we've connected, and we have
Definitely too long.
Yes, for sure. So thank you for the opportunity to spend some time with you today.
So tell us a little bit about what you do at Lenders One.
Oh my goodness.
And about how you got into the mortgage business.
Okay. Yeah. So been in the business for about 20 years. I'll kind of go back into the early 2000s. My gosh, dating myself. Aren't we dating ourselves?
Yeah, we are totally dating ourselves because you and I were introduced to each other at Lenders One, and now you've gone full circle and you're back now at Lenders One. And it just reminds me of when I got started at CLG, owning my own company, how much you were such a huge force in making us be as successful as we were. So the amount of help you give originators and mortgage companies throughout the United States is just ridiculous that you've done that over the last 20 years. The amount of people you've helped is amazing. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about how you help lenders?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I kind of going dating myself here, as we said. I started in the early 2000s. My dad's friend, believe it or not, he was an owner, CEO of a mid-size IMB and based in St. Louis, and he wanted somebody to help him grow the company. So, of course, I raised my hand and I said, "Oh, I'd love to help you." And so I got into the mortgage business that way, and I was the director of operations, and we were a consumer direct platform, and about 95% really of all of our business was through our consumer direct channel. And so I was in charge of all of operations and hiring and the licensing. I think we're licensed in almost every state. And oh my gosh, just all the contracts and the investor agreements and the Fannie approvals, just everything. So I really learned a lot in my tenure there. And I was actually at an MBA conference in Chicago, and I met the Lenders One team. They had a booth in the exhibit hall, and I was a prospect of theirs. So long story short, they ended up recruiting me to help them grow Lenders One. And gosh, I recruited about 100 of the 200 members at the time in my tenure there. And again, that's where I got a chance to meet you. And I just loved it. I loved meeting everyone and just helping their businesses. And, I had the opportunity to really serve our members, and it was super, super gratifying. So I did that for about 7, almost 8 years. And then the MBA recruited me to grow the membership. So they see a pattern here.
Right.
So I had a lot of fun. I built an engagement team and implemented and executed on an engagement strategy that I built, and it was really a great time. I got to learn a lot about policy and advocacy, and again, serve our members, and recruited, oh my gosh, about 750 members there in my tenure while managing and running an engagement team and strategy. So that was really great. And then I got a call from Lenders One to come back and yet again help them grow, help them build a sales team, and to grow the cooperative yet again. So here I am. Here we grow again, is what I say. So that's kind of.
I think it's so great to talk to people through all different ways of it being in the mortgage industry. There's so many fields in the mortgage industry you can go to, and not in the mortgage industry, how a huge industry works, they need everybody who can support one another. And you really support mortgage companies and mortgage loan officers on how to build their business and grow their business and have the tools in their toolbox so that they can really accelerate.
That's right.
What would you say are your 3 top keys to success?
So I will say, when I think about that, I never ignored my desire to advance in my career. And I have this drive in me, like you, that, unfortunately, sometimes women just ignore that and they're not really interested in their feelings, and they're taking care of everybody else. I took care of everyone. I took care of my family, but I didn't ignore that drive that I had in me to do more, and, really realize that I wanted upward mobility in my career. And, when there was an opportunity, I had the courage to take it.
Right.
And I think that's really important for women to realize their aspirations and don't apologize for them. Don't think that it's selfish. You can be a great mom and you could have a great family and do all those things, but also have a great career if that's really what you want to do.
Right.
So I think that's really important, and don't get in your own way, and know your value, know your worth, recognize your contributions, because no one's going to come and tap you on the shoulder and go, wow, you've been here for 10 years and you've done great. I'm going to give you a promotion. That just doesn't happen.
Right.
Right. In our industry. So, be your own advocate. That's how you'll get what you're looking for. Right. And
what you work hard for and what you deserve.
That's right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So I think that's really, really important. And then also, I think, having a positive attitude is super important, and also value and appreciate and your team, and surround yourself with really great people that have a heart to serve like you do. I think that's really, really key, because, I'm not successful, as you put it. And I don't really see myself that way, but I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing the things I'm doing without really great team members that, I really respect, and frankly, I adore a lot of the people that I work with. And I know you probably feel the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that we spoke about before this went live is we were able to share some stories and laugh. You and I both have children, and boys, actually, about the same age, and we have enjoyed a lot of laughter over the last decades of being having a family and having a career, and how do you balance, as you said, your son being sick in your office, throwing up in the trash can while you're on a meeting call. Not that I ever believe that there can be any balance, but how do you make it be okay to have both?
Yeah. Well, first off, you said it. We laugh, right? You have to laugh, because this is a crazy business that we're in. And although we love it, we're in it. We're all in. We love it. It's crazy. It is crazy at times. I mean, it's high stress, right? So many of us have really huge revenue goals, hiring goals, multiple goals, right? And milestones that you have to hit. And there's a lot of pressure, and there's a lot of ups and downs, ebbs and flows, and market volatility. It's crazy, but we laugh a lot because you have to. And then, so you're balancing all of that, right, in this crazy industry. And then you've got, you got to go pick up your kid who's throwing up at school, and then you bring him to your office because you have a meeting that you have to be on in the president's office, and he's throwing up in your office in your trash can. Like, what? Hello, right? That's life. And you just do it, and you laugh about it, and you just get through it. So
yeah, that's the whole reason for grab your keys. You're like grabbing your keys as you're doing everything else at the same time. And sometimes, I mean, how many of us always get in our car and we don't even have our keys? Like, how does that even happen? I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go.
Where?
Nothing. Where are the keys? Right. So that is super true. I always was worried that I would leave like my briefcase or computer at home, and that takes time. And you have to drop the kids off and then get to work and to a meeting and to a closing, and
Right.
it's stressful, and we do handle it with grace and laughter.
Yeah, and always have empathy too. I think that's really important. Empathy is key. Have empathy. If you have someone on your team that's pregnant and they're sick, I mean, we've all been there, or taking care of an elderly parent or a loved one. Like, have grace and have empathy. You just have to, because life isn't always easy.
Yeah.
And this business isn't always easy. And so I think if you have those attributes, both in your professional career, and just overall, just in general, I mean, those are just key attributes that everybody should have. And you get through it. It's just life.
You do get through it. And as I said, it's always nice to have like your village who's walking with you with your tribe. Your tribe knows how old your kids are, and
Right.
and is always there. And I always relied on other people to help me with
Yeah.
my family at times. If you don't have people to help, like, what are you going to do?
Oh my gosh. Well, think of all the women that we know in our industry that you can text, you can pick up the phone, you can call them and go, what did you do? Or how did you do this? How did you balance this? Or I need some help. Or can you look at my resume? Or would you take this job? Or, what do you think? Or do you think I could do it? Like, talking us through just our paths, right? You have to.
Yeah, there's many times that I've been like, and granted, we've both been building our careers at different times in different ways. And there's many times that I'm like, the only person I can call and ask this question to is Tricia. Now, how am I going to get in touch with her?
Oh my gosh.
What state is she in? What time zone is she in?
I remember you calling me. I was at the TMBA annual event, literally. And I'm like, I got to take this call. I got to go and go into my hotel room and sit down and see what's going on and how I can help her. I mean, that's
and that has gone both ways so many different times. And it's just so great to rely on other industry leaders, whether it's in your at your company or not at your company, because it's so important to rely on those people to be able to bounce something off of, and at least get some sort of constructive criticism at time, or play devil's advocate, or see the silver lining.
right.
Even in some rotten situations, you can always, as we said, laugh about it. And if we didn't laugh about it, then we're laughing about it now.
Always.
So true. Yeah. And we're going to we're going to take questions in the next 5 or 10 minutes. So if anyone has any questions, don't hesitate to put it in the comments part. Tricia is a wealth of information in every facet of mortgage. And if she doesn't have the answer, I've always been amazed. If you don't have the answer, you'll know where to get the answer. And I think that's also an amazing thing to have, is a resource, so that you've always said, if I don't know it, I can get you the answer. And you always return the telephone call or a text saying, you need to connect with this person. You need to connect with that person. And I think that's so vital in this industry, or any industry.
Oh my gosh, that's so true. Lenders One, we have 90 partners that really touch on just all aspects of mortgage banking. And MBA is just great references. I'm just great resources, I should say, just with data and just policy issues. I mean, we just have really good friends in our industry. And so, we love making those connections and helping everyone. It's very gratifying.
Who do you admire? Who do you admire?
Oh my gosh. Well, I will say, I admire just my mom and dad. I do, because, we grew up in the restaurant business. And so my parents just instilled in me that we have an opportunity to serve people. And so they really, I kind of, I guess, poured into me, having a servant's heart really will just carry you so well in life. And I really do, because I grew up in the restaurant business. My dad was an immigrant from Sicily who came to America when he was 17, and he learned the business, worked really hard for free for a year just to learn the business, and ultimately started his own business with my mom. And so, I mean, I was working in the restaurant business, just serving customers. And, my dad always said, without your customer, without your client, without your member, whatever definition, whatever term you give them, without them, you don't exist. And so always be thankful and always be grateful to have the opportunity to serve them. And so that's, they were great examples for me in my life. And, my dad said, I don't really want you to carry on my legacy. I don't want you to continue this business because it's super, super hard and it's really stressful. So what did I do? I got into mortgage banking. So
even something more stressful. When you thought you weren't going to work nights and weekends, guess what?
24/7. Yeah, but no, it really is. It's my parents were great and they really showed me. I mean, they had a big sign in one of their restaurants, why our customers are so important to us. And they had it was just beautiful. And I always sat there and read that and I thought, oh my gosh, I totally get this. I get this. This is really an opportunity to be thankful and to serve people well. So
for sure. If you weren't in the mortgage profession or restaurant business,
oh gosh,
I'll take that one away from you too. What would you do?
Yeah, what would I do? Well, again, I would say it's hard to take that one away from me because the restaurant business was in my blood. My sisters now are in Denver and actually Colorado, and they have multiple restaurants. So they decided to do it with their husbands. I would do that for sure and serve you gelato every day, all day, because who doesn't like to eat? But for sure, I would definitely do that just to co-labor with my family. I know many of our members have a lot of family members that work with them, and it could be gratifying, it could be challenging, but I would definitely co-labor with my family in the restaurant business because, again, it's an opportunity to serve people, and everybody loves good food and loves to eat, and so that's what I would do.
And it would be good Italian food too.
It's very good Italian food.
Yeah.
Of course. What else?
Very good. Before we got back on the call, you said who we are is in the making the emotional connection. How do you think, what can you say could contribute to making that emotional connection with people? Yeah,
it's just really being real and talking about those times when your kids are in your office throwing up, or, you have a sick mom, and, there's times when I've talked to women and we're crying on the phone because we get it and we know it. And, just sharing your experiences when, I'm in Atlantic City at the Northeastern Conference and my mom was on hospice, and literally, I was trying to get to the Philly airport. And when I got the call that she wasn't doing good and she was declining really quickly, and I literally left member meetings and was on an Uber FaceTiming my mom, trying to say my goodbyes at the, in the Uber and then at the airport. It's like, it's hard. It's life, and it's hard, and you try and do it all, and sometimes you just can't do it all. And we have to be there for each other and understand that, things happen, and we just do the best we can. And so there's always that emotional connection because everybody experiences, just times like that, right?
Right.
It's life. And so when you can be real with someone and say, yeah, this is what happened. I remember hearing from some of my members that I think I left a meeting, and it was like Steve Grossman and those guys texting me and calling me like, I'm so sorry. And, it just, life happens. Right. And then I always ask about their parents because we care, we care about each other. We all care about each other. And, and
it's on a national level that we care. It can be regional, it can be national. It's just funny how when you have that connection in the industry, in any industry, it allows us to all sympathize and empathize with each other.
Yeah. It's about the relationships, right? It's the relationships that you build over time. And that's so important. That's really, that's the core of our business is the relationships, is it not?
No, it's totally the core of our relationship. One of the other things that I was going to say, like you said, having the emotion of it, we're all tempered now to not be emotional at times. Now, I think that my emotion that I wear on my sleeve sometimes is my strength. Like, how do you feel about that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Who doesn't want, I mean, who wants to be around someone or interact with someone who's not authentic?
Right.
I,
Yeah.
we don't have to do that. That's, there's nothing scripted anymore. You don't have to be scripted. You can just be real, especially the last 2 years has taught us that, right? With, dogs, barking and
Yeah.
2-year-olds jumping on your head while you're trying to conduct business, right? This is real. This is really who we are. This is who we are. And, that's,
Who we are is okay.
yeah, it's okay.
Because it's real.
That's
So,
right.
right. So, what's in Tricia's future?
Oh my gosh. Well, our beach home, of course, that's a silly
Oh, right.
question, right?
Right.
No, hopefully I'll get to the beach someday soon. My son's in college and, we're kind of empty nesters, and hopefully when the market settles, whenever that is, we'll get there. But
For sure.
yeah, but no, I'm really all in here at Lenders One. I'm really, really excited. We're definitely having a lot of fun growing the company, and our expanded value proposition is awesome, and adding a lot of really great talent, great industry friends that we have relationships with that co-labor with me and help me, and just it's really, really important now than ever before, just in the market that we're in, to be relevant and to serve our members in the best way we can. And our mission has been so strong and consistent for 20 years. It's really helping our members with efficiencies and helping them overall with their profitability. And that's what we do every day, all day. So, we're doing proposals, we're showing cost savings, and I think Mike McCauley just said this, I think over the weekend, right? You could do whatever you think you do to diversify your channels, diversify your products, all those great things, but cut your expenses, right? This is really, really the time to cut your expenses and really look at your bottom line and figure out how you do that. And that's what we do.
Right.
We're good at. So that's my future. That's gratifying. I'm good. We're here to serve. So I'm all in. That's my story.
That's awesome. So, and you do help so many people, because I know that as a independent mortgage banker starting up, I remember your entire team coming here and you going through all of our stuff and saying, why are you using this credit agency? Why are you doing this? Why don't we pull all these together and bundle it? And it really does help. And it helps your loan officers. It helps your leaders. It helps your executives. It helps everyone.
That's right.
So that you really can work cohesively. Because you're within a collaborative or a cooperative, so that they can all join together and really work as one.
Yeah.
And if the wheel's turning just fine, why reinvent it?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That is so true. I mean, I've got credit bills in my inbox. I've got flood bills in my inbox. One today, I'm like, we're saving them $100,000 a year just on flood. I mean,
that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. So that's what we do.
So, in the industry where we're all, looking at cost savings and how we can cut costs, because that is the environment that in the mortgage industry that we're in right now. We've all, had lots of business over the last 2 years, and it's definitely slowed down with interest rates rising, and we're seeing, inflation. I mean, that's what we have to do, but we all need to stay healthy. And, that's what we expect our companies to do for us. So, if anyone has any questions, I can see if they pop up on the comments. Tricia has so much experience being a leader in the mortgage industry on a national level. How many trips did you take in a normal year? Like not a COVID year.
No, I mean, we were, oh my gosh, I would say 2 weeks out of the month at one point in time. I mean, we were on the road just hitting our members' offices constantly. I mean, I remember waking up going, gosh, where am I at? In the hotel room, what city am I in today? And just even the planning of it, that takes so long just to even plan it and coordinate schedules. But and there's nothing, you cannot substitute being in a member's office and talking with them face to face and meeting their team and getting to know people. Again, what does that boil down to? Relationships.
There's no substitute. It all boils down to relationships. And I know that at different times you and I have been like booked on different flights and got into hotel rooms and not had hotels and been like, we just have people who are like, okay, well, you can always spend the night in my room. Like what it is what it is.
That's right.
We all submerge into the same place. And,
Yep.
the nice thing is that we all love working with each other.
That's right.
And COVID did hurt us being around each other as much. But now we're back into, being on a national level, trying to get to places and seeing how everyone's doing things to the best of their ability.
Yeah. Yep. It is all we're on, the industry is open for business. We have so many events that are upcoming, looking at our events calendar, just with all the state and regional events, our events. We're hosting an executive roundtable in Utah. We just came back from our summit in Phoenix. We've got a base camp in North Carolina in July. We're hitting, Great River, Texas MBA, just multiple industry events. And it's so great to see everybody out, and everybody's so happy to be with each other.
It's so great because everyone's genuinely happy. Like when you see somebody that you haven't seen for a while, and it genuinely happy to see each other again. And it just warms my heart so much. Well, I cannot wait to see you in person. To give you a great big hug for helping me be on this podcast, my first guest on this episode. So I super appreciate it. And keep doing everything that you're doing, because you are really serving the mortgage industry at such a high level. Everyone appreciates it.
Oh, well, listen, I appreciate you, and I appreciate our friendship. You are dear to me, and call me anytime. Let me know what I can do for you.
Thank you. I always will. Thanks everyone for being on this podcast of Grab Your Keys. We look forward to seeing you guys next time. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you.